So when I talk to colleagues at institutions, we talk about re-engagement and re-enrollment, and stop-outs are the one group that everybody seems to be aware of and think about. Typically, there are students who just left. They're presumably out there and maybe going to come back. They're not people that you've kicked out necessarily. And they can enter as freshman transfers and even master's students. By the way, I want to say one other thing about, well, wait a minute on this one. So then there's your students who are dismissed for academic or financial reasons. You may think about some kind of amnesty for them. A lot of schools are doing this. If you've been gone 20 years, what have you done in your life to remediate yourself, if you will, and even with financial holds and things like that, a number of institutions are looking at their policies. I work with some places that would put a hold on a student and prohibit them from registering and drop them like a stone if they owed a parking ticket. In some places, it's a couple $100s. So this is something internal. You also have students who got a degree at your institution or another, but they never pursued a graduate. You have the nuns, who are these freshmen transfer and graduate admits. And I'll tell a little story. One of our clients at Lippman Hearn, when I ran that company, was a major public university system. They had a centralized master's graduate school. So even though there were many, many campuses, and it's just like about the second largest system in the country, they had all their graduate students came through one of the campuses. So they get 60,000 admitted graduate students a year. And so they wanted to grow the graduate program, and we kind of walked in and started talking to people and said, well, what do you think of those 60,000? The great majority of them don't come here. So what happens to them? Well, everyone knew that answer. The answer is they went elsewhere and they went to a better school than ours. So we said, you know what, just for the hell of it, let's take your admitted graduate students for 1 year, 60,000, run them up against the National Student Clearinghouse and see how many of them did not go to any college at all, okay? Put in chat, what percentage of them do you think did not go to any graduate program at all of the 60,000? There's going to be a prize for the one who gets it. Here's a chat. Okay, what do we got? 45%, 82%, 84%. You know your business. 80% of them did not go to any graduate program at all. Okay, so you're left with 48,000 students to work with. This is a good example of a myth and reality that kind of drives the decision and the mindset about, about re-engagement, re-enrollment. There are other ways you can look at students. You have continuing ed students, you have certificate students, and you can even go up funnel more. If you have a form where people say they're interested, they actually complete a form for inquiring, or you track someone who might have visited the campus, they demonstrated their interest, they made themselves known, but they never applied, they never were admitted. If you have records on them, you can throw them up against the clearinghouse and find out who never completed college, never went to college, or never got a master's. Anybody have any other populations that could fit into this re-engagement, re-enrollment? If you do, throw them in the chat and I'll just mention them later.